guys, it's Sabrina. Today I'm going to be sharing my monthly wrap up for the month of May. That's the month. I'm losing it, but it's okay. I didn't read much in the month of May. I only read 6 books, so I don't have a lot to share with you today, but I will be sharing my opinions and my ratings and all that good stuff, semi good stuff, who knows. Let's just get into it. So the first book I picked up in the month of May was The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. If you don't know, this is a book that she wrote after her husband died. It's talking about her feelings and just like her life after that. It also talks about her daughter's illness because she was actually like in the hospital when her father died. I think she was like in a coma or she wasn't responsive in some way. Um, so it's dealing with both of those things in tandem, but primarily her husband's death. I didn't think I liked Joan Didion's nonfiction because I read Blue Nights like a year or so ago, which is the book she wrote about her daughter's death, and I did not like it, which made me feel like heartless and like I didn't have a soul. But I just like it felt really emotionless to me and really disconnected. But I went into this kind of expecting that, and I think because of that, I liked it more. But also, it was kind of different than that one. Like I feel like this one had some more emotion in it and you felt her feelings more. So I liked this one a lot more. I ended up giving it 4 stars. There was some really beautiful writing here. It was just really heartbreaking and I really recommend it. If you want to be sad, go for it. Next, I picked up an ebook, and that was Fundamentally by Nusaiba Younes. This book follows a woman who just got out of like a long-term relationship, and she's like really upset over it. And she has recently accepted a position from the UN to work to rehabilitate ISIS brides, which was a program initiative that she came up with herself, but she would have to be putting into practice in reality. It sounds really, really good, right? Like that sounds so interesting. I want to learn so bad about how to rehabilitate ISIS brides and put them like back into broader society. But it disappointed me. I only gave this one 2 stars. And I feel evil giving it 2 stars because I don't think it's like a bad book. I think this like isn't the book I wanted from the description though. So let me explain that a bit. This book is more about our main character like running away from her problems, hyper focusing on one singular ISIS bride and only trying to help her and like disregarding all the others because she sees that ISIS bride as a younger version of herself, even though they're like nothing alike whatsoever and she really shouldn't. And then also just having a lot of sex. And those things aren't as interesting to me as the premise was. Am I topsy-turvy? Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Let me fix that. Is that better? Yeah, that's better. I'm so sorry everything was wonky for a minute there. Anyway, I think maybe my interest in this was like too academic. Like maybe I just need to read a nonfiction book about how to rehabilitate ISIS brides. But also the author like did this work herself. Like she worked to rehabilitate ISIS brides. So you'd think she'd want to share some of it because it just sounds so interesting to me. So it was just such a letdown. And then there's also like a sense of humor throughout the book that some people really liked. I did not. I just felt like it was kind of at odds with the more serious tone of like the program she was working on, and I just didn't like it. I didn't. I gave it 2 stars, which just says like okay to me. It was an okay book. So I'm not like trying to bash it. It just wasn't for me. And then after that, I read a book which was very much for me, and that was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I think that's how you say her last name, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this book takes place on a really remote island that has a seed vault on it. So if you don't know what a seed vault is, it basically has seeds from like every plant you can think of so that if something happens, we can hopefully try to figure out how to repopulate the earth with plants. And the only people on this island is a family of 4, a dad and his 3 children. Originally there were some researchers on the island as well, but they've since left. But anyway, so there's just this family on this really remote island in the middle of nowhere, and then one day a woman washes ashore, basically dead, like half dead. She survives, that's not a spoiler, but she's totally banged up, like almost on her deathbed. And they have no idea who this woman is, why she's there, or how she got there, because again, it's a very remote island, like you don't just, I was gonna say drive, you don't sail past it, you don't boat past it, I don't know. Anyway, um, this book was amazing. It had such beautiful, beautiful writing, the kind of writing that makes you pause to really take it in. And I also just loved how like mysterious it was. Like it kept you wanting to read because it doesn't really let you in on what happened until the very end. So you're constantly thinking that you're getting some answers, but you're not. Like, you're not getting the bigger picture yet. It was just so good. I gave it 5 stars. I don't know if I said that already. I wasn't sure at first whether to give it 5 stars, but when I was thinking about it, I was like, I can't think of a single thing that's wrong about this book, except for the fact that it made me sad. But I like being sad sometimes when it comes to like a book making me feel sad. So 5 stars, highly recommend. This book is like everywhere on BookTube right now, and I think it's definitely worth the hype. Then I picked up a book which is not worth the hype, which is a crazy thing to say about a book that was written in the 1300s that is still relevant today. This is just my personal opinion though, because this is my BookTube channel. Anyway, I read Dante's Inferno. Oh, I did read this. I read the whole thing. So, this was initially for a reading vlog I had planned where I was going to read all the books that people are recommending that you read before you read Calabasas by R.F. Kuang. That was such a sentence, but I think you get what I mean. Like, people are recommending all of these like classic books that you need to read in order to like understand the references. So I wanted to read those before I read the book that comes out in August. But this was the first book in that reading vlog and I hated it. And then I scrapped the whole vlog because it put me into a reading slump. So you can imagine my feelings. I gave this 1 star. This book, I didn't describe what it was about. It's essentially about like the descent into hell and like someone being led there and like just to like kind of take a tour, basically. That's such a flippant way of describing it. Did it get wonky again? It did. Oh my god. Better? A little. I'm just gonna keep talking. Sorry. I don't know what's up with my tripod. I think it's broken. Anyway. I understood what was going on, but I still felt stupid because there were so many references to things that I wasn't picking up on, and I was trying to look into them, but then it was just too much to look up. Like, I'm all for looking into something so that I understand a book better, but when you have to do, like, academic research on a book to understand a single paragraph, or stanza, I guess, I didn't like it. I didn't. And maybe that makes me stupid, but I'm just accepting that. I'll just be stupid then. I don't ever want to read this book again. I'm probably going to keep it because I have the Penguin Clothbound edition, which is so beautiful. But I don't think I'm ever going to read this again unless one's really, really convincing. After that, I picked up, I think this was the only book that was on my TBR for the month that I ended up picking up. But that was Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. This is a book that I've heard so much about. Like, I've had this on my shelf for years because I've heard it's like a historical fiction that you need to read. Everyone loves it. I'm in the minority here. I gave this book 2 stars. It was not for me. I just like... Oh, let me describe what the book is about before I go into my feelings. Anyway, this book follows a Korean family living in Japan. So if it's like a multi-generational story. I don't want to like share any details because there's a lot that happens in this book, but that's essentially the gist of it. It shows you how Koreans were treated in Japan, and it's really interesting in that way, I will say. I liked learning about the historic aspects of it and like the cultural stuff, but there's just something about this I can't really place, but I just felt like it never affected me emotionally. Like, it felt really dull at times. There are main character deaths that happen, but it felt like they were all happening like off page, or if they did happen on the page, then they just didn't have like that emotional weight that I wanted. So maybe I just don't like a generational story, or maybe they're really hard to pull off, but this book just wasn't for me. However, if it sounds interesting, if you have it on your TBR, like, still pick it up because so many people love this. I'm definitely in the minority here. I hope I'm in frame because my phone is no longer updating me. Like, I look at my phone, I can show you. My phone has my camera on it, so I usually look at that to see if I'm in frame. I can't tell. So if I'm wildly out of frame right now, I'm sorry. The very last book that I read in the month of May was Disorientation by Lane Shea Shu, which I think is how to pronounce it. I'm sorry if I have that wrong. Anyway, this book follows a PhD student who is doing her research on this very famous Chinese American poet named something Shu. It's like the Shu archives that she's looking for the information in. She is totally uninspired by this. Like, she does not want to be writing about this man. She doesn't like his poetry, but she's still doing it because she was kind of like forced into it. And she is like on year 8 or something of her PhD. It's like the last year she can possibly have funding, and she has to figure her shit out. And then she comes across something in the Shu archives that take her on like a wild journey. And that's all I'm going to say. This book is such strong satire. I had to read it in like increments because I just couldn't take it. Like every character felt like a caricature of a person, and the satire was just so like heavily done that it took a lot out of me because it was like really humorous but really satirical. It was a lot. I don't know why it was a lot, but it was a lot for me. I'm not used to that. I have mixed feelings on this book. I ended up giving it 3 stars. I did enjoy it, but I didn't like it that much as I thought I would, if that makes sense. Essentially, my main issue with this book were some of the political points that the author was making through the satire. And like, so there's this one character who's a very like left-wing character, and she's just constantly ridiculed and made fun of and made to seem like a crazy person. And part of that is because our main character feels very insecure around this character. And she does come to warm up to her in the end, and she's not like a villain at the end of the story, but she is a villain for a good part of the story. Like, she's portrayed as one. And it wouldn't normally bother me, except for the fact that she's portrayed as if she's like similar to like the alt-right characters in that way. Like, she's just as crazy, which is wild to me. And I hated that. And again, like, maybe that's just showing that the main character had a lot to learn, to, like, come to terms with, to be a better person or something. I just didn't like that part of it. But overall, it's not a bad book. It's not a new favorite by any means. So there you go. Those are all the books I read in the month of May. Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what books you read down below. And if you read any of these and you have some thoughts, please share them. I'd love to talk about the books I read. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Goodbye!